And again, I like the question partially because somebody is thinking, okay, I want to plan for the future. How do I do it most efficiently and effectively? I think we need to even just talk about retirement at all. So they said, can you fund your entire retirement? Well, the question is, what is your entire retirement? And most people have a perception that because of the historical retirement date and the age of retirement at this point in our especially American world, we are in a position where we expect to work until age 65 and then we expect to be able to retire. And in order to do that, we need to have income from other sources at that age of 65 that will last us until the rest of our life. The challenge with that is even if you start working at age 25 and you've worked for 40 years and you've planned really well for that eventual age date of 65, it's possible you're asking 40 years of employment to provide you 30 years of income if you live to age 95. Let's just say that's maybe it's not your specific life expectancy, but it's a very potential life expectancy if you look across Americans. And what you don't want to do is live past the end of your retirement income. So what retirement income sources do you have? Well, you have Social Security, you have, if you have any pensions, if you have any retirement plans that you maybe have set aside, or you have any sources of capital where you have then built up some type of net worth that you expect to withdraw interest and keep the principal intact, or partially chop into and use up that principal in order to fund a monthly or annual income dollar amount to be in a position of being able to live in those later years without being actively employed. If instead you look from a cash flow perspective and you say, how can I acquire cash flowing assets? That doesn't necessarily mean they're passive. And I know we've had a lot of conversations on this podcast about what passive income is or isn't, because nothing is truly passive. But if you're in a position of acquiring assets that will produce cash flow, maybe that's real estate, maybe that's businesses, maybe that's having places and sources of income that are not just your physical labor. You're not just trading time for dollars. If you focus on building cash flow, then you can have an increasing stream of cash flow from assets. And that's a different model than just thinking about accumulation and then distribution.
It's funny how people look at retirement and they see it as a big pile of money, and then they feel like, oh, I have this big pile of money, but now what do I do with it? Because I'm afraid this big pile of money is going to be whittled down to nothing and I won't have any more money, and thus I won't have a very nice life because I'm worried about money.